Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, this is Ekadashi. Welcome. Ekadashi Titi ki jai. Shri Radha Murlidhara Shri Gaura Chandra ki jai. I feel as though whenever Ekadashi is on a Thursday, it's kind of like even extra more special because we have every excuse to dive fully into the nectar of the holy name. We have Thursday night kirtans that happen in New York, and then there's literally no excuse for us to make the most of this wonderful Ekadashi day that Shri Krishna has seen fit to give us. So we don't have to wonder and wait for Krishna's mercy. We're kind of inundated with the mercy on Ekadashi, or at least we should feel as though we've been inundated with mercy on Ekadashi. My hope and my goal is that there will be no more Ekadashi lamentations. Now we can get to a point where we are looking forward to this most incredible, most auspicious, most special, most favorite day of our dear Lord Shri Krishna. So we'll begin with reading out the glories of this Ekadashi. And every time I think, do we need to? And every time I think, must we? I read the glories of Ekadashi in preparation for these lectures. And then I realize just how important it is that we do read them. So yes, it is an absolute must. Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Vasudev, I offer my most humble obeisances unto you. Please now describe to me the Ekadashi of the dark fortnight Krishna Paksha of the month of Vaishak, April-May, including its specific merits and influence. Lord Shri Krishna replied, O King, in this world and the next, the most auspicious and magnanimous Ekadashi is Varuthini Ekadashi, which occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Vaishak. Whoever observes a complete fast on this day has his sins completely removed, obtains continuous happiness, and achieves all good fortune. Fasting on Varuthini Ekadashi makes even an unfortunate woman fortunate. Upon anyone who observes it, this Ekadashi bestows material enjoyment in this life and liberation after the death of his present body. It destroys the sins of all and saves people from the miseries of repeated birth. By observing this Ekadashi properly, King Mandata was liberated. Many other kings also benefited from observing it. Kings such as Maharaj Dundumara in the Ikshvaku dynasty, who became free from leprosy, resulting from the curse that Lord Shiva had imposed upon him as a punishment. Whatever merit one obtains by performing austerities and penances for 10,000 years is achieved by a person who observes Varuthini Ekadashi. The merit one achieves by donating a great amount of gold during a solar eclipse at Kurukshetra is gained by one who observes this one Ekadashi with love and devotion, and certainly attains his goals in this life and the next. In short, this Ekadashi is pure and very enlivening, and the destroyer of all sins. Better than giving horses in charity is giving elephants, and better than giving elephants is giving land. But better still than giving land is the giving of sesame seeds, and better than that is giving of gold. Still better than giving gold is giving food grains, for all the forefathers, demigods, devas, and human beings become satisfied by eating grains. Thus there is no better gift of charity than this in the past, present, or future. Yet learned scholars have declared that giving away a young maiden in marriage to a worthy person is equal to giving away food grains in charity. Moreover, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has said that giving cows in charity is equal to giving food grains. Still better than all these charities is teaching spiritual knowledge to the ignorant. Yet, all the merits one can attain by performing all these acts of charity are attained by one who fasts on the Varuthini Ekadashi. One who lives off the wealth of his daughters suffers a hellish condition until the inundation of the universe, O Bharat. Therefore, one should be especially careful not to use the wealth of his daughter. O best of kings, any householder who takes his daughter's wealth out of greed, who tries to sell his daughter, or who takes money from the man to whom he has given his daughter in marriage, such a householder becomes a lowly cat in his next life. Therefore, it is said that whoever, as a sacred act of charity, gives away in marriage a maiden decorated with various ornaments, and who also gives a dowry with her, obtains merit that cannot be described even by Chitragupta, the chief secretary of Yamaraj in the heavenly planets. The very same merit, however, can be easily achieved by one who fasts on the Varuthini Ekadashi. The following things should be given up on the Dashami, the 10th phase of the moon, the day before the Ekadashi. Eating on bell metal plates, eating any kind of urad dal, eating red lentils, eating chickpeas, eating kondo, a grain that is primarily eaten by poor people and that resembles poppy seeds, eating spinach, eating honey, eating in another person's house or home, eating more than once, and participating in sex of any kind. On the Ekadashi itself, one should give up the following: gambling, sports, sleeping during the daytime, betel nuts and its leaf, brushing one's teeth, spreading rumors, fault-finding, talking to the spiritually fallen, anger, and lying. On the Dwadasi, the day after Ekadashi, the 12th phase of the moon, one should give up the following: eating on bell metal plates, eating urad dal, red lentils, or honey, lying, not living, please live, strenuous activity or labor, eating more than once, any sexual activity, shaving the body, face, or head, smearing oils on one's body, and eating in another's home. Lord Shri Krishna continued, whoever observes the Varuthini Ekadashi in this way becomes free from all sinful reactions and returns to the eternal spiritual abode. One who worships Lord Janardhan Krishna on this Ekadashi by staying awake throughout the entire night also becomes free from all his previous sins and attains to the spiritual abode. Therefore, O king, he who is frightened of his accumulated sins and their attendant reactions, and thus of death itself, must observe Varuthini Ekadashi by fasting very strictly. Finally, O noble Yudhishthir, he who hears or reads this glorification of the sacred Varuthini Ekadashi obtains the merit earned by donating 1,000 cows in charity, and at last he returns home to the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu in the Vaikunthas. Shri Varuthini Ekadashi ki jai. So, as I was reading this, there are so many rules and regulations, and in the beginning, as I was prepping for this lecture, I was thinking, I really like to make all of these things sound encouraging, and I was kind of wondering, I was thinking, there's a lot going on here, and a lot of things that we should refrain from the day before Ekadashi, on Ekadashi, and the day after Ekadashi. And I was thinking, how do I reconcile all of these different things? How do I patch this up and make this encouraging for devotees? How do I make this pleasing to the heart of devotees? And then I didn't have to, because my Krishna is the Supreme Person who always tries to make everything pleasing to the devotees. And so I didn't have to, because at the very, very end, finally, O noble Yudhishthir, he who hears or reads this glorification of the sacred Varuthini Ekadashi obtains the merit earned by donating 1,000 cows in charity, and at last he returns home to the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu in the Vaikunthas. Sometimes, as ISKCON Vaishnav devotees, we tend to be very forceful with our ideas of love. And so when we hear about going back home, back to Godhead, to Lord Vishnu and the Vaikunthas, sometimes our first thought is, no, not the Vaikunthas. We want Goloka Vrindavan. I have in growing up and in maturing within this Krishna consciousness movement, I've now come to the point where, you know what, maybe I'll take it. Maybe I will accept whatever benefits my Lord wants to give me. If I have learned anything from the distilled essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, known as Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, brought out, extracted by Srila Sanatana Goswami, if I have learned anything from the journey of Gopakumar, which if any of you have not taken a journey through the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I highly, highly encourage it. I do it multiple times. Do it every Kartik. Do it as many times as you possibly can. Open that book and take a journey, because it changes your view on Bhakti Yoga. It changed my view on the entirety of Srimad Bhagavatam. It changed my view on the role of devotees. It changed my view on Narada Muni, changed my view on the role of gurus in our lives. It changed my view on my relationship with Sri Krishna and the kind of relationship that Krishna yearns to have with all of us. And so if I've learned anything from Gopakumar's journey, he journeyed through the Vaikuntha planets and saw so many different areas. And he saw an Ayodhya that was in Vaikuntha. He saw a Dwarka that was there in Vaikuntha. And then he saw so many. And finally, they ushered him to the topmost planet of Goloka Vrindavan. So I will not turn up my nose at any kind of upgrade that my Lord would want to give me. And so as I was thinking about this, I was feeling so much gratitude for Sri Krishna, who there are so many rules and regulations. And then even at the end, for one who simply hears or reads. Simply do our best. That's it. That's all that Krishna is begging us for. It's simply just, let's try. Let us try with a heart full of love and devotion. That's it. Just the trying. How many times does Sri Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita that we should perform our duties and be detached from the results? We should perform our duties, and then we do our duties imperfectly rather than trying to perform someone else's duties perfectly. To do that is dangerous. Dangerous path. It's a very difficult path. So Krishna is encouraging us, simply try your best. In this endeavor, there is no loss, no diminution, and a little advancement on the path is enough to save one from the most dangerous type of fear. Just try your best.
Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
So can we confirm, before I forget, that because we have listened to this from you, we're in. Everything's all right.
As far as the Puranas have said, as far as Sri Krishna himself has said, apparently we're good.
So we're invited to the party.
We are now officially invited to the party and the cookout.
All right, unbelievable. I was getting all tense. You were going over those rules and stuff, and I was getting
right?
tense.
So was I.
And I was like, there's no way. So, and then there's a way. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
And as our dear Jeffrey Ackler is saying, an invitation still means that we need to show up. And that is key. We can get the invitation, but will we actually show up? Will we show up every day? Will we show up with gratitude in the heart? Understanding the true nature of our position. This humility is very easy to cultivate when we understand the truth of our position. And the truth of our position is, I don't have any qualifications. I've got nothing. I almost, like you, Bhima Prabhu, I kind of feel like, wow, did I just get somebody else's invitation? Did this invitation go to the wrong place? Was this invitation actually meant for somebody else and somehow it wound up in my devotional mailbox? And I've opened it up and now it says, now look, You've been invited. But then I look and it says, no, there's my name there. My name is on this invitation. Clearly, it must be sent for me. Right, Jeffrey Ackler saying just to the current resident. It doesn't even just say to the current resident. It's giving me a whole spiritual address. And the only reason that I have this spiritual address is because of the incredible kindness and the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Where would we be without our gurus? Where would we be without Srila Prabhupada? We'd be lost. No invitations. Our invitations would effectively been lost in the mail. We would have had no opportunity to show up for many of us. Some of you might have had a little bit of a better opportunity to show up. But me, I'm a black kid from New York. Who was going to give me an invitation? In fact, when Srila Prabhupada wanted to come to the West, everybody told him he was crazy. You will find no people of merit there. None whatsoever. Instead, Srila Prabhupada told his young disciples, these people of seemingly no merit, no qualification, that his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, must have arranged for great brahmanas to take birth in many different places in the West, just so that he could have these disciples who would help him to accomplish the mission of his spiritual master. Let's think about that again. Now what would have been our disqualification becomes a boon from a venerable Vaishnava who is in such close connection with Sri Krishna. This birth in this place of this seemingly unremarkable section of the world is now fated, destined, a promised benediction from Vaishnavas that they had never met and would never meet in this lifetime. We are living off of blessings of Vaishnavas that we may never meet. We are living off of the benedictions of incredible Vaishnavas. And these births, in these places, where we can somehow or other gain even a tinge of the effulgence of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This is a benediction. Sri Narada Muni cursed the two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvara and Manigriva. We know this from very well-known stories as Damodar Lila. We talk about it during Kartik, or at least we should. And so these two, they were sons of Kuvera, devatas in their own right, and they get cursed to become trees. Srila Prabhupada calls it tree punishment. They were way too busy enjoying their senses, extremely naked, very intoxicated. Narada Muni said, please become trees. You like to stand naked, trees stand naked all the time, there you are, trees. However, this was a benediction. Because then they were trees, but not just anywhere. Trees within Vrindavan. Not just anywhere in Vrindavan, because that would have been enough. Many people since have prayed to just become a tree, a plant, a bush, a creeper, a clump of grass, something. So anywhere in Vrindavan, trees would have been a benediction. Not just anywhere. Trees within the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. This was the most supreme benediction given by Narada Muni, who goes around becoming guru of so many people. You might know some of his more famous disciples, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Valmiki Muni. The list goes on. We could, Murgrari the hunter. He's got really good disciples, really famous disciples. And so, they get this blessing. Now they are trees within the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. They are liberated by The Lord in his form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, inundating the inhabitants of Vrindavan with all kinds of wonderful devotional ecstasies and proving to everybody that he cannot be captured by anything other than love and complete love with no tinge of awe and reverence. And when they are liberated as trees, they're sad. Sad, crestfallen. Oh my Lord, this is a great benediction. You have liberated us, but why? Because even as trees, even though they were standing for a very long time, but as trees, little baby Krishna would crawl. He would embrace these trees to hide. He would peek behind those trees when playing with his friends. He would sit with his back, little chubby back, resting against these trees. This now became a source of pride. A curse became the greatest benediction, so much so that even after fulfilling all of the requirements of this curse, they don't want to leave. How can we leave you? If we leave you, what chance is there of us seeing such beautiful, unprecedented pastimes? Now they are grateful. And so, a birth which would have been a complete and utter disqualification by any and all accounts now becomes the greatest benediction. Being in a place like New York, normally, who cares spiritually? What really do we have going for us? What we do have is the capital of sense enjoyment. Whatever you want, you can find it right here. This would not have been a great place to create Vaishnavas. And yet, somehow or other, it is now a place of pilgrimage. Our dear Lord Krishna has seen fit to come from all over the world and reside as deities, placing his two lotus feet right here. Our Srila Prabhupada had so many pastime places right here. Our dear, wonderful spiritual masters have had so many pastime places right here. This becomes the greatest, most absolute blessing. So that years later, decades later, we can all come and sit here and all of us can make the best use of technology, and all of you wonderful Vaishnavas can be so tolerant and so accommodating and so encouraging, and then you'll listen to this one kid who was born and raised in New York, somehow by the mercy of Vaishnavas like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, somehow or other, by the mercy of Guru's Guru, by the absolute mercy of Vaishnavas, somehow or other, I've gotten a rare opportunity. A rare opportunity to say, yes, I am the byproduct of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Would not be here in this life without it. Born and raised. People often ask me, what is your culture? What is your heritage? I don't know what to tell you. My culture and my heritage is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And so, I was thinking so much about the mercy of Guru as I was reading and prepping for this lecture, thinking, there are so many do's and do nots. There are so many things and rules and regulations that we would have to follow, but Srila Prabhupada made it even more simple. Just fast from grains and beans. Increase your hearing and chanting. Talk about Krishna. Speak Krishna. Tell others about Krishna. Krishna is the treasure of your life. Even following in the footsteps of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada has made something that was even more distilled by Sri Krishna, even more simple. And Srila Prabhupada promises, I'll take care of the rest. And we know what happens. When a devotee promises, then Krishna says, oh no, now I'm finished. Finished. I have to run behind this person. I must. O Arjuna, declare it boldly. My devotee is never vanquished. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who really knows the inner mind of Shri Krishna, states in a commentary on that particular verse that Arjuna is very confused. Well, Krishna, why do you want me to declare it? Why don't you declare it yourself? No, no, no. I can't declare it myself. Other people will say I'm doing it for such and such reason or for another reason. And Arjuna thinks, oh yes. Sometimes they think these people from Mathura make these kinds of promises in every sentence, giving some allusion to how Krishna left Vrindavan. And the gopis were not feeling so happy about that. And Krishna has to hang his head and say, I accept, I agree. I have said some things, and some people have been upset about that, and so they might not want to believe me. No one throughout the rest of time might want to believe me, but if my devotee says it, if you say it, O Arjuna, then I have to make it true, so you say it. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Krishna encourages Arjuna to go into the assemblies of doubters, especially. Doubters, argumentative doubters, with a drum, arms raised, almost like a madman, yelling out about the mercy of Sri Krishna. Declare it boldly. As boldly as humanly possible, arms flailing in the air. My devotee is never vanquished. So now, how many times has Srila Prabhupada promised us? You follow this path, you simply chant the holy names, you read these books, you live off of the mercy of Guru. I promise you, I'll take you back. Adjusting rules, adjusting japa requirements, adjusting everything. So, I was feeling that we should spend some time in our day, especially within our private, quiet contemplations, and we should share, even if it is within our journals, some love for our gurus. We should share some love for Srila Prabhupada, because our gurus believe that we can accomplish the impossible. Our gurus have faith in us that we can capture the inconceivably unconquerable Lord. Not only do our gurus strongly believe this, but they are willing to upend and disrupt their lives to make it a fact. The Lord tells Gopakumar within Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita that I could find no means to bring you to me without disrupting the rules of the universe that I myself put in place. I simply sat thinking maybe this lifetime or this lifetime or this lifetime or this lifetime. Finally, my devotee will turn his face to me, but you showed me no mercy. And so I arranged to take a form as your guru and to instruct you. I even arranged for you to take your current birth in Govardhan, because Gopkumar had achieved a birth in Govardhan. And so now our Lord has personally arranged for us to take these births, for us to be in these places, for us to hear from such people, for us to come in contact with Srila Prabhupada, and then have the secrets of the entire universe open to us on a platter, silver spoon. We've received everything. And all on the hope, the belief. Our gurus have faith in us. Yes, you can reach Krishna. Srila Prabhupada always encouraged that his disciples should become greater devotees than him. Narada Muni also encouraged his disciples to become great big devotees. Narada Muni goes on a trek searching for the greatest devotee, and he speaks with Prahlad and he says, "Oh Prahlad, you are the greatest devotee. It's you. You are the greatest recipient of Krishna's mercy." This is a guru speaking to the disciple. The disciple says, "Guru Maharaj, how could I possibly be better than you?" And Narada Muni counters, No, you are absolutely most dear. You are much better than me. There cannot be any recipient of Krishna's mercy better than you, O Prahlad. Seeing your faith in Krishna, I desire to reside with you for forever. This is the love between the guru and the disciple. A debt that we can never, ever repay. But we should at least try to contemplate it. We should try to contemplate our obligations and just be truthful on more days than just the Vyas Puja. I say this as much to myself as anybody else. But on more days than simply just the Vyas Puja, we should contemplate what is the mercy of Guru. We hear, thanks to Adi Parush Prabhu, we hear the glories of Guru. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Do we believe it? Is it something really cool that we've memorized and then we can say, I have gotten my badge for attending the morning program because I've memorized it, and then I kind of rattle it off and then I never think about it again? But we're suffering. We are in an ocean of material suffering. His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj was giving a lecture during a Holy Name immersion, and there was talk, and the analogy came up of a drowning man. And Sachinandan Maharaj asked, has anyone ever drowned before? And I was just thinking about the English of that question, which was very interesting, because usually if someone has drowned, they're no longer alive to say it's me. But a few people actually raised their hands, maybe 2 or 3, including Sachinandan Maharaj. I was in a situation where I was drowning. And what he said was, he was desperate. And when he prayed, the prayers were desperate. So, are we actually drowning, or are we simply coasting? Sometimes it feels as though we are, with our lips, when it comes to our actions, to back it up, we're coasting. Our feelings inside, we're, oh Lord, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Oh Krishna, save me. Oh Guru Maharaj, help. How do I get through these horrible things of life? How do I cross over all of the horrible trials and tribulations of life? Oh. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the 3 worlds. By making the dust of the Vaishnava's feet the ornament of my body, ecstatic love comes. Washing the Vaishnav's lotus feet is my method of worship. By associating with the Vaishnavs, I shall overcome the darkness of ignorance. Now we have an extended version, but this is what we get. This is our hope. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the 3 worlds. But had these Vaishnavas not taken the time to contemplate the mercy of Guru, maybe, I don't know if the fame would have been spread all over the 3 worlds, because they wouldn't have written these wonderful songs, poems, glorifications. So it's important for us to take some time within our daily contemplations to journal, write about it. And it doesn't have to be for anybody other than yourself. Swarup Damodar Goswami, the very right hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, kept a journal. Murari Gupta kept a diary. But after, when they needed the treasure trove of the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these were the things that we relied on. Their journals, their meditations, the innermost workings of their hearts. And somehow or other, they were courageous enough to give that as a gift to the devotees. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that he would not have been able to do all I did. Swarup Damodar had the treasure trove of Chaitanya Lila, and he put it around the neck of Raghunath Das Goswami. And all I did was hear from Raghunath Das Goswami and try to write down feverishly whatever I heard. Simply his notes from his hearts, and the devotees said, no, you must give it to us, please. This is the mercy of Vaishnavas, who take time to contemplate the mercy of Guru. And without these Vaishnavas, we wouldn't have had all of these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pastime accounts. And so I urge us to think about the mercy of Guru, to write about it, even if it is in a journal that you expect no one will read, but maybe they will read it long after. But let us drink constantly. And let us stand in the downpour of mercy coming from the spiritual master. Our spiritual masters are the friend of the poor, savior of the fallen. And let us really believe it. Because this is our lineage. We see Vaishnava after Vaishnava after Vaishnava, especially Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We see so many Vaishnavas. And their faith in Guru is immaculate. And that's how they get through life. Guru Nishta. This is what I want to become my identity. Who was she? Somebody who had faith in Govinda and Guru. Somehow or other. She had faith in Lord Nityananda, and then there it was. Because none of us can get through any of this life without faith in Guru. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, whose disappearance was yesterday, was one of the last initiated disciples of Sri Nityananda Ram. What an incredible guru that was. I mean, to have Adi Guru as your guru is the most amazing thing. So what did he have to say about his guru? Well, Nitai is within and without. He is everywhere within this world. He is the lover and he is the sweetheart. Everyone says it. Nitai is my regulative principles, my object of worship and the light of my eyes. Nitai is in all 10 directions. In fact, he fills all the 3 worlds. Nitai is an Angamanjari, eternally serves sweet Srimati Radhika. He is non-different from Baladev, whose beautiful face resembles millions of moons and is surrounded by Sakhas and Sakis. The sister of Radharani, Ananga Manjari, is very dear to Sri Sham, and she is the life and soul of all the Sakis. She decorates the arena of the temple named Mani Mandir. Nitai sustains the Yogapit and becomes a throne for the Lord to rest on. Nitai is also his dress and ornaments. He enjoys pastimes with the Sakis. What more can I say? Nitai is the eyes, mouth, and limbs of everyone. Nitai, 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 Nitai. I see only Nitai dancing. Raising my hands and chanting Nitai, Nitai, I will go to Braj. I, Vrindavan Das, only request Nitai to constantly, kindly, never leave me. So whether we think anybody will ever read them or not, it's kind of better if we think no one will ever read them. We should spend some time thinking about the mercy and the glory of our spiritual masters. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. All glories to all of our spiritual masters. All glories to all of the assembled devotees. All glories to Ekadashi Devi.
Jai, thank you. All glories to Achyuta Gopi. Thank you so much for highlighting Krishna's mercy and our role in receiving it. Thank you. There's so much emphasis on Krishna's mercy and Guru's mercy, rightfully so. But then, if I'm failing, is this a lack of mercy? Is it a shortage of mercy? What's the? Maybe it's my part that I failed to play properly.
It's a good question. And that goes back to our faith and our association. Sometimes if we think that we're failing, it's time to take a look at our association. Who are we letting in? What are we letting in? What are we giving
I
more
love Bima
prominence to?
mostly. Is it because of them?
No, it's definitely you then.
Jagai and Madai, man, all the way, Jagai and Madai.
See, and even they had the mercy of Sri Nityananda. You can't get away from mercy. There's no getting away from it. Mercy is chasing us down.
And you can still get drunk. You can still get drunk, but you just get drunk on Krishna. You just get drunk on Sankirtan. You just get drunk on the association of devotees. You just get drunk on the promise of what you just told us, Prabhuji, the promise of whatever we're doing, whether we're in heaven and hell, we are of heavenly, we are heaven bound. We are always loved by Krishna, no matter where we end up, as long as we, and it's all up to us to remember that.
And we can think, maybe I'm failing in this lifetime, but I don't care how many lifetimes it takes. I don't care if it takes me an entire lifetime of Brahma. I will somehow or other rise to the occasion. And I will somehow or other perform devotional service. Is it for my own benefit? No. But the reason, even if it takes me in a lifetime of Brahma, that I will never stop trying to perform devotional service is because my Guru believes in me. And if my Guru has said, "Oh disciple, I believe that you can do this, now go." Even if it takes me for a lifetime of Brahma, I have to somehow uphold that belief, that faith. So even if we think we are failing, once again, we're putting ourselves in the center. Concentrating so much, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing. Who cares about what you're doing and what you're not doing? Guru says, I believe you can do this. I believe that you can chant 16 rounds a day and you can follow the 4 regulative principles. And now I put my faith in you in front of fire, in front of other Vaishnavas, in front of the Devatas, in front of the earth, the sky, the wind, the moon, the sun, everything that truth relies on. And then Guru says, I make this promise. If you just do this, I will grab you. I will find you wherever you are and take you back home, back to Godhead. And you mean to tell me that that kind of faith does not merit me trying for as many lifetimes as it takes? I have to. Krishna's devotee believes in me, so I have to. There is no reality where I stop trying. I can't stop trying. I simply have to try again. If I'm given another day, then that will be another chance that I will try. Because even if I fail 1,000,000 times, somehow or other, Guru has given his mercy to me, and I have to uphold that mercy.
This is a long game.
Yeah.
Lifetime after lifetime.
Thank you. Would anyone like to speak? We have, it's 8 o'clock, maybe during the afterglow. Achita Gopi, if you have time, please stay, if you can. Thank you. Maya Devi, Hari Krishna. Are you preparing us for darshan? Great, thank you.
Which is kind of cool. Normally they say that Maya stands behind Krishna, but in this part, Maya's helping us, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for being here for another Ekadashi lecture. I will probably continue taking a few questions over on the Bhakti Center's YouTube page, but thank you for being here, and I will, hopefully, most likely, see everybody on the next Ekadashi. Can't wait to be with all of you. Jai Ekadashi Titi ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to this wonderful Krishna consciousness, which has given chances to so many people all over the world. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Hare Krishna, everybody.